Hey, what's up everyone? This is Drew Davis, and I want to welcome you to Learn How to See Better. It's the only podcast out there that'll actually improve your vision the longer you listen. I want to take a moment to thank you for joining me today, and I've got some great information lined up for you. So relax and tune in, because we're about to begin. Hey everyone, it's Drew, and I want to welcome you back to Learn How to See Better. And in today's episode, I want to take you guys through a recent experience that I had. So let me break it down like this. So there I was, I'm sitting in this business meeting, right? And I'm with a couple of other entrepreneurs, and we're sharing some recent developments in business and what's been going on. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's a privilege to be in a session with these guys because, quite honestly, they are pretty successful in business and a little further ahead than some of the accolades that even I've achieved. And I'm sitting there, recognizing the fact that this is the time to, keep my lip buttoned and my ears open, because I might be able to pick up some nuggets of wisdom that could help me on my journey. And again, I thought, this is really great to be hearing some of this information. These guys are crushing it, and they're sharing a lot of what they're doing and some of the ingredients to their secret sauces openly. And what a privilege, right? To be able to bear witness some of that action taking and some of the strategy behind that action taking that, if harnessed in my own efforts, could really yield a positive result. And as I sat and listened and recognized some of the good information that was being shared, it also dawned on me that, wow, all of us are actually in the same boat. And what do I mean by that? There's one particular individual, like I said, sharing some of the things he's got going on in business and just crushing it. And very impressive to hear what is going on in their world. And as you hear these things, it's not any kind of jealous feeling of envy. Granted, there's the admiration for what they're doing, but I'm just sitting there taking notes, trying to absorb the information and take it all in. And as I absorbed that information in its totality, there was not just the actions, activities, and status of what's happening on the business side, but also a little bit of a peek into the personal side of things as well. And all of a sudden, that's where it hit me like a ton of bricks. That, man, just because you might be having an excellent stretch, an excellent run, excellent success in business, it doesn't mean that you are susceptible to any challenges on the personal side. And that was one of the amazing things. And it wasn't that, I was excited this person was having challenges, but that I was also going through some of the same, conversations in my head and having some of those same challenges. And what it really boils down to is the fact that a lot of the stress and a lot of the overwhelm in business that we face and that we deal with is not so much that we bring it all upon ourselves. It's just that we're used to the idea of when you're first getting started, or when you're leveling up, or bootstrapping it, or however you want to refer to the grind, the hustle, right? We recognize the fact that we wear more than one hat. You're not just the boss, but you're also the bookkeeper. You're not just you're not just sales, you're also marketing and fulfillment. Or you might have other responsibilities. You might be the product development person. You might also be the service delivery manager for your business, right? And as you think through those things, you simply recognize the fact that sometimes you have to create a short list of what you bring to the table, and only do those things at which you're the best, most well-suited individual for, as opposed to looking at it as that you have to do every single thing in your business. And what jumped out at me in this instance was the observation that this individual needed to do the same thing that I need to do in certain areas of my business. And sometimes I've had success with it, and sometimes I've struggled to let go of those reins. The answer is this: you got to fire yourself. Yeah. Sometimes you have to fire yourself from the job or jobs that you're currently doing that are either spreading you too thin, running you into the ground, driving you crazy, not the best use of your energy, your strength, your skill, your expertise, your gifts. And as crazy as it sounds, sometimes you have to fire yourself because you could be getting in the way of your own success. And it blew my mind that I was almost hearing myself in this individual's confession about some of the challenges that they were having. And it was simple as that. And here I was, just a fly on the wall, feeling privileged to be able to listen and absorb information. And all of a sudden things turned and I realized, wow, I'm not just an absorber, I'm not just a taker, but I'm also a giver. And I had value that I could provide. And I remember not jumping in and interjecting, but when asked for feedback, I said, hey, you know what? It's funny you share that. We might be at different spots in our business, but I can tell you we're at some of the same spots mentally because I've had some of these same conversations with myself. And the answer, it couldn't be clearer. I've got to fire myself. And I told him, bro, you need to fire yourself. And he had this kind of crazy look on his face. And I only share that because, sometimes the value we bring to the table, we might underestimate. We might think that, okay, I'm in this audience of other individuals that have all these other accolades, but it doesn't mean you should discount yourself and the value you bring to a group, an organization, a team, a business, etc. I knew I had seen some of the struggles that he was going through now. And I knew that even though I was in the process of trying to enact some of those myself, it was as though I was sharing the advice I was trying to give myself and hoping that he would take it so that in order to show that the advice was good and then I might also take it as well. Bro, you got to fire yourself. And he kind of nodded his head and recognized the fact that, okay, maybe I might be on to something. Maybe there are some tasks in his business that he doesn't really want to be burdened with, even though he might be one of the most well-suited individuals. If it's too much of a time suck, hire out another expert because there's ways that you can focus on higher value tasks that can free up your time, give you more relief, give you more reward, and a better sense of fulfillment at the end of the day. And so that's one thing I want to share with you. If you find that you're overwhelmed, it might be just that you're attempting to do too much. It might be that you're just attempting to tackle everything. It goes for men and women alike. I've had the conversation with my wife at times. She's like super mom, super wife, super everything. And sometimes it burns her out and wears her down. And I said, honey, sometimes you just got to take the hat off and set it down. Let certain things rest. Everything's going to be okay. Don't stress yourself out trying to do everything at once and be all things to all people at the same time. And if this is you that I'm talking to, don't take offense to it. Don't take offense to the idea that you may need to fire yourself. You may need to take a moment to get out of your own way because it might be just the barrier you need to relocate that will enable you to gain some traction in whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's business in your personal life. When you're trying to break through, sometimes the biggest breakthroughs are break-withs. And I mean break-withs from certain tasks, break-withs from certain ideas, break-withs from the attitude or the mentality that, if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it, or that no one else can do it. I guarantee you that pretty much for any task, there's someone else out there that can do it, and they can probably do it better if you threw a couple bucks at it. So that's just one thing I wanted to share briefly because I think it could apply to all of us as we attempt to get past some of the overwhelm that can come with leading a busy and ambitious life. And that's something I hope everyone takes to heart. So, with that, I want to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Just a quick nugget of wisdom for you as we move into the weekend. I hope you found value in this and be sure to share it with a friend if you do. Thanks. Take care.